any way you want to tell us what you have in mind today. Thank you.
Well, you want me to jump right in, huh, Comfort?
Yes, yes, yes. Go for it.
Okay. Okay. I've been talking to Marty and Dan for a couple of weeks, and the subject that always comes up is confidence. How do you get it, and how do you give it to other people? And obviously, if you listen to Mr. Mufara on the last 360, it should build that confidence immensely, because he was very succinct, very to the point, and he told us what was coming. But before I get into any of that, I really want to talk about the elephant in the room. And what that is I know, and you all might not agree with this, but it's just something I know talking to people. 90% of the affiliates, those people that are participating with OnPassive, they have that doubt in the back of their mind. You might see them on a webinar, you might see them talking, and they're very confident. They believe in OnPassive. They know where OnPassive is going. They believe in Mr. Mufara. And then they get off, and in an hour or two, in the back of their mind, they believe what they're saying, but there's that little voice back there. Well, could it really happen to me? And it really is amazing. Not only could it happen to them, but is it going to be sustainable? Is it going to be residual? Are these things going to happen in my life? And I know those issues are back there. And I'll give you a good example how I know that, just very, very quickly. I was talking to a group of people the other day, a private group, and we were just talking one-on-one. And of course, I get a little bit crazy, and I started talking about the numbers. And if you know anything about OnPassive, anything about the numbers, anything about the market, you know they can get very, very large. And if we talk one-on-one, I'll tell you how large they can get. But I started to talk, and I could see their eyes just glossing over. And they're not thinking about they believe what I'm saying. They're really not thinking about it, because in their eyes, it's just impossible for them. And in the back of their mind, they're saying to themselves, gosh, I just hope I can make $500 a month. And over time, it becomes residual. That's what they're thinking. Maybe it's 500, maybe it's 1,000, maybe it's 1,500, whatever the number is. They're just hoping that that's going to happen in their lives. And really what I'd like to say today, it's time to up your game. It's time to get those hopes in the back of your mind and make them a reality. Because if you listen to Ash last, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, Ash isn't playing anymore. He's literally telling us what's going to happen. And everybody comes to me and they go, well, how do you know, how is this going to work for me? Why do I know that OnPassive is going to work for me? And it really is simple. It just boils down to a couple of things. It really, really does. And the main one is demand. All you need to know, demand. And if you look at any business that you've ever been in or you've thought about going in, you always think about it in terms of demand. Maybe you don't articulate it that way, but that's what it comes down to. Is the products they have, are they in great demand? Will they last? Is there longevity in the company? And when you think about OnPassive, all you have to do is think about demand. And you can start with the company of OnPassive and the affiliate program that they have. Will it be in demand? Pretty simple question. Now, if you haven't listened to me, if you haven't listened to Marty, if you haven't listened to Comfort, if you haven't listened to the tech pros here, if you don't know what kind of demand that's going to be, you need to listen to these individuals, because they can tell you, boom, 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 here's what OnPassive is going to do. Here's why people are going to come, and they're going to stay. Demand. So OnPassive has that demand as far as the affiliate program goes. But it is so much bigger than that. When you start to think about demand in the products, that's really, really important. I can't tell you how many programs or businesses Marty and I have been in where we were ready to rock and roll. And after a month or two, all of a sudden, there's no demand, period. The product sucked. The business didn't stick around. It was not there, even though you're ready. So demand is a really, really big thing. And when you talk about, again, I won't get into the numbers because it freaks people out. But when you think about the demand of the products, superior products, and believe me, the products of Unpassive are superior. Get it. Get it in your mind. Get those doubts out of your mind. They are superior at a lower price point. Really, really simple stuff. Really simple stuff. And then you look at each product and you look at the market in each product. Demand, demand, demand. This is what Unpassive brings to the table. And the demand of the products of Unpassive are going to be something that the world has never seen. Okay? Again, you get that in the back of your mind. All of a sudden, not only do you start to get excited about your own life and what Unpassive is going to do in your life, but that excitement stays with you. And that really is the gold right now. I don't want to give a pep talk. I don't want to give motivational. I don't want to do any of those things. Just have the realization of what you have in hand, what Unpassive is, and what they're going to do for you. And from there, you won't have to be motivated. You will have the confidence moving forward that, yeah, you are in the right place. And because of what Mr. Mufaro has done, because of the structure and the vision of Mr. Mufaro, you are in the right place at the right time, and your life will change. Now, we have people coming at us all the time that are almost there. They're not quite there yet, but they're almost there. And over the next couple of weeks, it's going to be a very exciting time. You will get there, period. And they're always coming at us and they're asking, okay, I have the confidence in Unpassive. I have the confidence what they're going to do. I know Mr. Mufaro. I trust Mr. Mufaro. And by the way, there are people out there that today don't trust Mr. Mufaro yet. Okay? That's okay. That's perfectly all right. And I have some of them around me. And they just go, I just don't believe it. I don't believe Mr. Mufaro. That's okay. Because in the matter of weeks, they're going to come back to you and go, oh, was I wrong? And yeah, they were. And I won't get down on them too much. Maybe a little bit, but not too much. I lost my train of thought. That's okay. But as we think about that, as we think about confidence, people coming to Marty, to myself, to Dan, other people, what do I do? What do I do? And that's a really, really important question. But again, if you understand Unpassive, you understand what they're doing. And Marty said this to me the other day. He said, 90% of what people need to do online is done by Unpassive, right? Yeah, I mean, and I can go through the litany of things that Unpassive is going to do for each and every one of us. Again, if you haven't heard that, listen to one of the videos or get together with someone one-on-one that can go over it with you personally. But it's extraordinary. And when you start to think about that, okay, 99% of the business is done by Unpassive, i.e., they're going to force you to be successful. So the other 10% is you. What do? I can tell you a lot of things that I would like you to do, but you won't do them, period. Some of them take a great deal of time. Some of them, they just go over your head. You just don't even think about them. So what can you do? Number one, engage. You need to stay engaged. You need to listen to webinars like this. But here's what's coming. It doesn't really matter what you do, because when the success starts to come your way and you have a testimonial, we all love to give good news. Everybody will do that, even if it's just to your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your niece, some friend. You're going to tell them about your success. They're not going to believe you right away. That's okay. But they're going to look at you. They're going to watch you as time goes by. And as Unpassive does what they do, as you do what you're supposed to do, all of a sudden, people are looking at you a little differently. You're a little taller. You're a little more handsome. You're a little prettier. You're articulate in ways they never thought you could be. They thought you were an idiot. That's another thing they start thinking about. He or she, they're pretty smart. They really are. And eventually they're going to come back and they're going to go, What are you doing? And you give them your quick, short little testimonial, which is 10 times better than when you told them the first time, because on passive never stops moving. It's always moving forward. And because of that, they're going to come back and they're going to go, can they do it for me? Boom, game over. Really, game over. And I really want you to visualize this. Keep it in the back of your mind, not only how people are going to treat you, because that is going to change. It really is. If you were someone that that had no influence whatsoever, none whatsoever, people did not listen to you, you might be the smartest person on the world, you might have wisdom just out of this world, they do not listen to you. They're going to start listening to you. That's a really, really fun time, by the way. It really is, because now you can start to guide them. But what I want you to visualize right now, we have open waters in front of us. We can't see where these waters end. We can sail, and it's just perfect sailing weather. The wind's coming out of the northeast, right where it should be, to catch our sails and keep us in the right direction. And you're going to be able to sail for as long as you want to. And it's just going to be absolutely marvelous. And as you start out, maybe you're not someone that's familiar with the water or the winds or sailing. Well, you got Mr. Mufar on the rudder. He's guiding everything. What a wonderful thing to have in a business that's a multi-billion-dollar business. You don't have to manage that. You've got Mr. Mufar to do that. And it's a really, really funny thing as you envision yourself just going down that path, that sailing to infinity, places you've never been before, wonderful, beautiful places you've never been before. Understand that in this journey, as this starts to happen for all of us, all of a sudden, you're going to become a pretty good sailor. You're actually going to start to understand how everything works, how you steer the boat, taking you places you want to go. And that's the visualization I want you to have in the back of your mind. And when you start to think about unpassive, and we get you very, very excited here. And believe me, when Marty comes on, he's going to blow your mind. Well, I won't put that burden on Marty. He always does a great job. But when you start to think about unpassive, whatever you think, it's more than what you think. And I want to say something that probably shouldn't say, but it's the truth. Okay. You look at the people on the corporate side of unpassive, okay? Not Ash Mufar, but the people that he's brought into unpassive. These people are the best of the best. They're better than anything you can imagine. If you think of what we did if you think about what we did 5 or 6 years ago and what we're doing today, you can't even compare the two. These guys and gals, they're that good. They're really, really good. And I want to say something to them. You all don't have a clue what's coming. That is unpassive. That is Ash Mufara. When they don't have a clue where Mr. Mufara is and the years ahead of what they're thinking. And that's a really, really exciting place to be. If they take that to heart, they're going to go, that's cool. I want to be where I'm at. I never want to leave unpassive, because they're always going to be 5, 6, 7 steps ahead of me. And they're going to be things coming down the track that keep us excited and keep that journey going, sailing to unknown places. And why do you want to go someplace you've already been? Who wants to do that? I don't want to go any place I've already been. Take me to those places I've never been before. That has been the journey of unpassive for the last 5.5, 6 years. It has been a journey of places I have never been to. And sometimes it scared me a little bit. Most of the time it got me excited. And if I wasn't ready for it, I got ready. And if I didn't get ready, Marty and Dan made sure they kicked me in the butt and made sure I was ready. And we did that to each other. So when you think about unpassive, when you think about being confident within your business, and you have those little thoughts in the back of your mind that maybe you're not as ready as you should be. Maybe they're not going to happen for you. Maybe I won't make that $500 a month. And I even hate to say that, That shouldn't even be an afterthought. That should be absolutely nothing. And I mean that for everybody around the world. I don't care where you live, but I won't say that. I didn't say that, but keep it to heart. So this is on passive. This is kind of where I'm at today. We all need to get up to that next level because it's coming really, really quick. It really is. Maybe later I'll talk about what Mr. Bufara said, but everything is geared toward where he is and where he's going. And I'll say one thing about what he said last week, and it's the most important thing that he said the whole time. He was talking in terms of days, not weeks, not months, not years, days. And if you heard that, you're going, oh yeah, I got days. I can wait days. And it's going to be right in front of us. And maybe later I'll talk a little bit about that, but that is unpassive. That's where we need to be. Raise that confidence level, get to the next level. Believe me, that's just the next level. We're going to take you way, 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 way higher than that, way, way higher than that as the weeks and months unroll. And we're all in a great place. And everybody here, whether you're on the panel or whether you're listening, don't fret. Remember what Marty said, 90% of it's done. The other 10% we'll work on with you. Comfort, Bob, whoever from there, I'll turn it back over to you. And that's kind of what I've been thinking about the last week or so.
Wow. Thank you. Thanks so much, Mike, for